So guys, today is Labor Day. The happy part, I don't think it's really there. So we can't say happy Labor Day because the laborers in Kenya are not happy.
Labor Day is supposed to be sacred. One day, just one day set aside for the workers, for the masons, for the teachers, for the boda riders, for the mama mboga, for the office clerk, for the people who actually carry this country on their backs.
And I wonder when someone says that the government is doing everything it can to make life easier for a normal mwananchi, for a common mwananchi, uongo.
But this year, I have some bad news for you, because this year, that day was hijacked. Not for the workers, not for the wages, not even for their dignity, but for politics, for campaigns.
Barabara ni hiyo hiyo. 2027 ni William Samoei Ruto.
And what happened in Vihiga was not a Labor Day celebration. It was a campaign rally wearing Labor Day suits.
Haya, mko tayari tumkaribishe Mheshimiwa Rais?
And workers noticed. Disappointed, angry, and feeling used, the workers of this great nation demand better from the president.
Watoto wa Chavakali National School hawajaenda shuleni for a whole week. Simply because the president is coming to hold sijui Madaraka Day ama sijui ni Labor Day ama sijui ni whatever day tomorrow.
Let's talk about it. If you love this kind of content, go ahead and like this video and subscribe. Now let's get to the video.
Atwoli amepeleka Labor Day pale Vihiga. Acha niwaambie kwa nini Atwoli ni pale. Governor wa Vihiga amekuwa kama governor miaka ngapi? 10. Amekuwa governor pale. Ajaije Vihiga is the only county in Kenya yenye haina stadium.
Let us start with the first strange thing. The location. For decades, since independence, the Labor Day celebrations always happened in Nairobi. That has always been the tradition. That has always been the symbolism. The capital city, the nation's stage, the home of national celebrations. But suddenly, this year, Labor Day was moved.
The 61st National Labor Day celebrations are set to be held tomorrow in Vihiga County. This is the first time a Labor Day celebration is being held outside the capital.
Now, on its own, that seems harmless, but politics is never random. Timing matters, location matters, symbolism matters. And just days ago, Edwin Sifuna had held a hugely successful political rally. Guess where? In Vihiga.
Vihiga oye! Shamaroho Mulembe! Mimi ndio Sifuna!
Crowds were massive, energy was high, momentum was obvious, and now, almost immediately, the president chooses that exact political ground for Labor Day. Coincidence? Maybe. But if you understand Kenyan politics, you know nothing is ever accidental.
Mmechukua event ya serikali mmepeleka kwa shule because hatuna resources, hatuna stadiums.
Especially not with William Samoei Ruto, because he understands optics, he understands messaging, he understands political territory. And this looked like one thing: reclaiming ground.
Basanza bale, basanza bale. Basanza bale, basanza bale.
Then came the second thing, and this was even more shocking. The crowd. Not the size, the colors.
Vihiga Mulembe. Vihiga Mulimoyo.
For years, Labor Day has always had its own identity. Purple, workers' colors, union colors, Labor Day movement colors.
Very much. Tafadhali tunaweza keti chini. Thank you very much.
That is what usually dominates the audience. But not this time. Not under William Ruto's watch. No. This time it was yellow. Yellow for UDA. Party colors. And immediately, the message changed. This stopped looking like a workers' holiday. It started looking like a political convention. Labor Day is not owned by any political party. Not UDA, not ODM, not Jubilee, not even DCP. It belongs to workers. So why did it suddenly look branded? Why did a national celebration feel partisan?
This road is unlocking employment for contractors, suppliers, and communities.
Why did a workers' gathering feel like a campaign stop? That is what angered many Kenyans, because the line between state and party keeps getting blurred every single time. Then look carefully at the guest list. Who were front and center? Western leaders, Luya political heavyweights, regional mobilizers. And their message was actually very clear.
Mimi nataka niseme hivi. Niliwaonyesha na tukawaonyesha barabara kwa uchaguzi uliopita.
It was campaign language, guys. Musalia Mudavadi openly reminded the crowds that back in 2022, he voted for Ruto. And now he's telling them the way to go is Ruto.
Barabara ni hiyo hiyo. 2027 ni William Samoei Ruto.
That is campaigning, guys. That is not Labor Day. Workers were supposed to be the headline. Instead, politicians became the headlines. Votes became the headlines. Regional arithmetic became the headline. And laborers, they became background decorations. That is the insult many Kenyans are actually feeling.
Wakenya, Friday, date 1st May, itakuwa Labor Day. Na mimi najua vizuri, kuna watu wenye wanajipanga, wataenda kwa sherehe ya Labor Day, kusema ya kwamba wameongeza watu mshahara. Mshahara utaongeza kina nani, kama si mavijana tuna kazi.
Then the president spoke, and what should have been the first issue, workers, came last. Listen to what dominated his speech. Affordable housing, SHA, road projects.
The traffic nightmare that has long confronted those traveling to this region during peak periods will soon be a thing of the past.
Infrastructure promises.
We recently launched the extension of the standard gauge railway from Naivasha to Kisumu.
Development talking points.
Your request that we have a modern transport station here in Vihiga, right here in Luanda, is already in the construction stage, and we have the plan for it.
Everything sounded like a manifesto. Everything sounded like a re-election messaging.
Our GDP growth has held firm.
Everything sounded like, look what I have done. Please vote for me again.
SGR ilikuwa imekwama kule Naivasha. Barabara ya Mau Summit ilikuwa imekwama for 15 years. Today, it is being built usiku na mchana.
And then, at the very end of his speech, workers' wages were mentioned briefly as the last thing.
I am pleased to announce a 12% increase in general wages and a 15% increase in agricultural wages. To all Kenyan workers, happy Labor Day. May we continue building this nation together for this and for future generations as we strive to transform Kenya into a developed economy within our lifetime. Asanteni sana, oriomuno, nyasaya mulinde.
That tells you priorities. The workers became an afterthought on a Labor Day. That is astonishing political tone deafness.
A wage laborer is not happy. Someone on a pay slip is not happy. And I wonder when someone says that the government is doing everything it can to make life easier for a normal mwananchi, for a common mwananchi. Uongo.
The one day that is designed for workers became the closing remarks. And someone somewhere is shouting to term.
I just want Kenyans to know that payslip yako sahi inakatwa mpaka tunaanza kucreate memes za ama wachukuage yenye wanatubakishia wanatupea yenye wanakata, because it doesn't make sense.
Niko sure atuli tasemaniaje wafanyikazi waongezewe mshahara juu nini? Juu maisha imepanda. Na gava wataongeza mshahara. Shida ni hii, hiyo mshahara itaongezwa 90% ya mshahara itaongezwa itaenda kwa tax.
Then came the clearest sign. The president spoke openly about 2027. He talked about unity. He talked about broad-based politics. He talked about continuity. Let us continue with the good work that we've been doing.
Waswahili wanatuambia umoja ni nguvu, kutengana ni udhaifu. Na ndio mimi nawaeleza ndugu zangu watu wa Vihiga, Western Kenya na Kenya mzima, that we work together ndio tuunde serikali 2027 ya kuunganisha Wakenya wote.
That is campaigning. Full stop. And many Kenyans saw it immediately, because once national holiday become campaign stages, every other opportunity becomes an opportunity to campaign.
Hata mazishi ingine inapiganwa mpaka watu wengine wanakufa mbali na ule alikuwa anazikwa.
I like what happened yesterday. He went for a burial ceremony for some Chirchir guy's father. And he said, we do not have to do politics on such venues. We can wait for another day to do politics.
Ambayo ni tabia mbaya sana. Iko Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, mpaka siku ingine. Leo sio siku ya peke yake. Uweze kusema everything today. Hiyo unataka kusema ya siasa, pangia siku yake.
Guess what? A few minutes later, dude switched up to Kale and started doing politics.
Chetinye kibande ama wako jengura ya. How was it?
He could not resist. He could not resist. What a mess. What a mess. So I have a question for you as I come to the end of this video. As a worker, do you think that you were the priority for this government in today's celebration? Tell me in the comments below, and please, thou shalt not forget to subscribe.